Okay, what's up, everybody? Just hoping you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me when you log in here. When you see my video and you're wanting to watch it, click on the video so I can see who you are. But let's just say, let's talk. See what's going on with everybody. And then I'll go into some of the things that I would like to talk about and see where that goes. It's 12:38 p.m. Sparta, Tennessee. I guess everybody could be at work or out on the lake. 4th of July is coming up, and that's a big day for a lot of places and a lot of people. But other than that, it's been extremely hot. There's a heat advisory from where I live at, in the area that I live at. So, I mean, it's getting pretty rough, and it's not even the summertime yet. So, but I'm going to try to stay alive as long as I can. I really don't have that much to do. I am in the area where I could be as loud as I can. I'm in a sound box, so I don't have to worry about disturbing anybody. I could hear what everybody else is doing, but they can't hear me, so. But yesterday was a pretty hot day. It was a pretty day, but it was too hot. Even in the shade. So I could work in the shade all day, but that direct sunlight really can get me exhausted. Try to stay hydrated. Don't want to be dehydrated. But I was on a job site. It's a landscaping job, and it's Ace Lawn, and it was just an extreme hot day, and I actually got there at 7:15, 7:30, something like that, to be there at 8:45, because I had never been to the retreat, Centerville Lake. But I was there to meet a guy named John. He's actually I think the owner of Ace Lawn. I was asked to do some weed eating, and which was fine, but it's just the heat, the constant heat. And I was trying to stay hydrated, drink water and Gatorade. But helping them other boys out there trying to weed eat, and you're holding a weed eater that doesn't have a strap to go across your chest to, you pretty well have to hold a heavy weed eater. And this ain't no normal weed eater. These ain't normal weed eaters at all. Or as some people say, weed whacking. But I call it weed eating. But you had to hold that up. And of course, if you're not used to it, that could be a struggle for you. But I was weed eating as much as I could, and then I would have to sit down and catch my breath, because I had had a heat stroke before, a couple of years, and they found me in Rickman when I was working for the state of Tennessee, TDOT, and I lasted about 3 days. working kind of like what I was doing yesterday. And they found me in Rickman on the side of the road. And I was rushed to the hospital. I woke up in the Cookeville hospital, and they said I had had a heat stroke. So when you have a heat stroke at least once, it's easier to have another heat stroke, so you can't let your body get too hot, and you got to stay hydrated. But I started to, like yesterday, I started to see little white dots in my eyes, and of course I was still trying to drink as much water as I could, and Gatorade, and rest whenever I can. And I was just pouring the sweat, covered in grass. I mean, covered in grass is not a big deal at all, but it's just, seeing the little white dots, and, knowing that you have to sit down. And then you're like, you don't want to sit down too long, because you don't want the other boys to be doing all the work. And they said that you do the best you can, do what you can. And it'd be like about 20, 30 minutes into helping them weed eat as much as I could. I'd have to sit down again, and maybe it's like 10, 15 minutes till I'm back up and I could do it again. And heat, I mean, like I said, I don't like to be cold at all. I cannot stand to be cold at all. But the way I felt last night, I was warm and hot all over. I couldn't get no peace even whenever I got off work and got to the house anyway. So I had to pour water on myself, and then just let it sit there and drip through my hair, and my entire body soaking wet. And then I gradually started drying myself off. So, and then I was able to go to sleep. And but that's the type of job, as if the boss calls you back, that means he wants you to work for him. So I wasn't called to come back. So just working in the heat like that in direct sunlight, it's hard for me to do it. I try, 100% give everything I have. But I mean, a person's health is more important than a job. And that was a $15 job, 15 an hour job. So whatever I did, I know I'm going to get paid for it. But I've been talking to these temp agencies, and I've called like 6 of them. And they all seem to have the same story. But the 4th of July is where most of these factories take at least a week off for Independence Day. And, I mean, I understand 4th of July holiday, and it represents, our country. But taking an entire week off, I think that's just so ridiculous. I think that's stupid to do that. I can understand Thanksgiving and Christmas taking at least a week off, but, it's just like 4th of July, they take a whole entire week off. And I think that's just so stupid. So I have been calling these temp agencies and been talking with them, and they said that they have wrote my name down for several opportunities. So when they do get something, and this can be from the Cookeville area and the Sparta area of these temp agencies that I've been calling. But like they said, they all had the same story. So something, all these factories are on like a freeze or something until after the 4th of July. I was told, and I'm not going to give the names out of the temp agencies or the jobs, but I have been written down for several opportunities from several places that I have called. So as soon as the 4th of July is here and over with, they say that they might be able to pick up, and these factories start taking these temps in. So I'm trying to get a job. I'm living off of what I have already saved up, and eventually that's going to run out. So, but I'm one of them. I believe wholeheartedly, if you're able to work, you need to work, and stop living off the government. I understand, I don't take any type of government assistance, like food stamps or nothing. But, I have thought about going over there and filling the paperwork out and maybe getting food stamps until I can, get back to what I was. I don't believe in keep living off of food stamps and not doing any better. I believe you can use food stamps until you can do better. So I'm big on that too. But it's a struggle right now to find a job. And when I do find a job, I can't hardly do it because of the heat. So I can take the heat inside of a factory building more than I could just, direct sunlight and outside. It's just, it takes a lot of toll on my body. Even drinking and trying to stay hydrated and everything, it's kind of hard to, do the job when your body's weak. But I love drinking Gatorade, but you can only drink so much of that anyway. Need to go get some Pedialyte. Pedialyte's not always just for children. It's for anybody that's feeling dehydrated and needs to get their electrolytes back up. So I go and buy, and that stuff could be at least $6 to $8 a bottle anyway. So it's not cheap. They say take a sip here and there, but whenever I get one, I'll drink at least half of the container before I even put it down. So it's supposed to help you with your electrolytes and stuff. But anybody that has children knows what Pedialyte's all about. So, and it's not always just for children anyway. It's for anybody. So I'll down Pedialyte any time of day. So a lot of people must be busy. I just wanted to get on here and talk and tell you, it's been pretty hot, so I am trying to, find work and stuff. The classic villain doesn't stay, not having a job for long, so. But right now, it's just after the 4th of July, you have to wait and see if they have anything available. But I was also, this whole, sorry, I'm looking at other people here. But sometimes about friendships and other people that that you've known for many years, and I asked somebody to order something for me, like they did the microphone that I do use whenever I'm wanting to do live videos out in public and stuff. I keep my microphone and my device stand always in my vehicle. I keep my chair, which is a steel chair, and a plastic table. So whenever I want to go anywhere, I've always got something that I could sit down and have a table to do my live videos. And it could be anywhere that I'm at or want to go live. Where I was at yesterday, I thought, man, this would be a really good place to do live videos. At least you've got phone signal, and you could text and call and do live videos if you want to. And I thought, from that opportunity to being there, I could do some live videos right there out on the boat dock. You never know, I might go back there and do some live videos. I'm always up to going to places that I've never been before, but at least if I go, I want to make sure that I have good phone reception. So, but getting back to, people you've known all your life, or not all your life, but since school and everything. And you ask them to do something for you, and they say they're going to do it, and they say they've ordered something for you, which was 2 items, and it came to $105. And I told him, I said, I've got the money to give back to you when you get it. So he had ordered it and said that he didn't know exactly, they didn't give him a delivery date. Well, when the time come to deliver it to his address, the mail lady couldn't find his address. So it had to be delayed to the very next day, and it's supposed to be at 9 a.m. Yesterday, actually. And so when I was waiting for a response, he said, I got your package. I said, well, I'm at this job site. It's a landscaping job. I'm weed eating and this and that, and I can meet you after work. And I said, when I get done with my, what I'm doing, I can meet you if you just tell me where you want me to meet you in Cookeville. Well, from that moment, when I said, do you want me to meet you in Cookeville? And then when I finally got off work, I said, hey man, where do you want me to meet you? And then later on I called. Okay. And then later on again, I called again. And I said, where are you? I said, where do you want me to meet you? And then later on, I called again. And this is like maybe an hour each time I've messaged him. And I called. And every bit of me messaging him after he said he had my package. And it was like, at that time, he said he had my package, but that was like at least 11:36, I believe, a.m. of yesterday. Well, from that moment after I said I can meet you in Cookeville, where do you want me to meet you? See, I gave him the option to pick where he wants me to meet him. From that moment of me saying I can meet you, and all the other messages and the calls trying to get through to him was all left unread. And I even got on his page. I said, hey man, how come you're not answering my messages and my phone calls? I said, I've got the money to pay you for these 2 items. Well, I mean, still nothing. Like, completely just ghosted me and won't answer, hasn't answered, and not even tried to answer since the moment that they said I got your package, and I gave him the option of where do you want me to meet you. So I gave him the option to pick where he wants me to meet him, and nothing else had been said. So I've been left on, the messages wasn't even read. You know how you can tell when a message has been read, because that little dot goes down, and if you have your volume on, you'll hear it go bloop. So those messages wasn't read. So I checked the messages again, and nothing was being read. And so I asked one of my cousins, and I mentioned the person's name, and she said after work she'll try to message him just to see if he's okay, and that I've been trying to get a hold of him. And I even went to this person's page of other posts, and I found 1 or 2 of his friends, excuse me, and they even messaged, on a post out in public, is there any way you can get so-and-so to message me? He's not answering my messages. He's ordered 2 items for me, and I'm just trying to figure out how come he's not answering my messages, and I've got the money to pay him. So whenever I go back, just not long back, maybe about 40, maybe 50 minutes ago, almost an hour, I checked the messages again, and before I clicked on this person's name, I seen, this whole message. You can tell when it blinks most of the time. Then you click on it, Well, when it blinked and I clicked on it, at the very bottom it said that he had blocked me. So I don't know what's going on. I don't appreciate not even leaving me on red. He just totally just ghosted me, quit talking, not even messaging, and not even answering my messages or phone calls. So I find that very disrespectful. And I've always gotten along with him and went to school with him, even bought him a meal, and sat down with him last time because he's the one that ordered the microphone that I've used, the gold one and the white one. And we sat at Captain D's and ate a Supreme sampler. You know, he had his Supreme sampler and I had mine, and we just cutting up and everything. And it's like, I don't understand why he went that route to not even, after he had ordered it, or he said he ordered it, and he said he's got the package, which that was yesterday, and I could meet him, and then he just totally ignored me. And it's like, that's not what a friend is for. I've never had words with him, so somebody or him or something had gotten on his page and blocked me. So those 2 items, he might as well just keep them or return them or whatever, because that's not what a friend is for. You didn't have a right to totally ignore me after saying that you have gotten my package, to have it brought to me and meet you in Cookeville somewhere. So I don't appreciate just being totally ignored after I got you to order 2 things for me, and now you won't even let me have them. So other than that, that's your money, whatever. Now, because I just won't count my losses and my loss of friendship and just let you go on about your business and never speak to you again. So, Bryant Phillips, I hope you have a good one, because I found that very disrespectful, and I find that that's not what a friend is for. So how you treated me was wrong, and I have the money to pay you for those 2 items, but you won't let me have them because you want to totally ignore me and not even message and not even answer my messages. So go on about your business and enjoy your life.